you for the opportunity to bring this moment of sharing today. And I wanted to do so from some universal perspective that addressed both the meeting, the reader, and the message. So I used a book. It's called Nature Speaks. And I'm doing a reading in here about the way it speaks to us, because often we choose different mediums than it might present for us. So I'm going to introduce this here, a little bit of introduction from myself about the reading, and then I'll conduct the reading. The ether of creation has all. It's where out of the darkness comes light, and out of the light comes darkness. Look at the light, close your eyes. Now you can see your light inside, and you can open your eyes again. On the canvas of time, reality brushes its hues onto the page where a poet leaves their rhythm to rhyme. Where the ink meets the page, there is a change. Where imagine leaves its defined mark in specialty and size and spelling. Here's where pondering the perplexity of the word selection comes about. But not all is in the written word. As a poet, it's always had a connection with the reader. When presented by one, there are two the poet touches, the reader and the listener. Each letter has the perplexity of synonyms and dual definitions, and the plurality where the rhythm and the rhyme come to. Placed in harmony to form the feeling of a sound, the emotion of the word, the sight and sound and feeling lies in the listener. The message in many forms, hallucinations, emotions, colors, words, and accents, where reality shifts to meet the word's spelling. Shh. It's on the page for the reader and the listener. So I'm going to make my reading now from a form where communication often isn't heard, but where we can sort of find ourselves as harmoniously in part with nature, and maybe find a way inside ourselves where we can listen to what it has to say. The reading I'm doing today is on annuals and perennials, as we talk about things of the past, things in the present, and things in the future. We'll understand this from a unique perspective from plants based on annuals and perennials. An annual is a flower or a plant that lives 1 year or less. The seed germinates, grows, flowers, and releases a new seed and dies all in one growing season. The seed left is called a volunteer, and where it germinates the following year, it will often differ from the parent flower in color. Annuals remind us that we must renew efforts each year according to our goals. Some annuals do better in the fall or spring in the cool seasons, such as primroses and calendulas. Some annuals do better in late spring and summer, the warm seasons, such as marigolds. Those that do better in a particular season may be telling you your own efforts are more likely to bloom. All annuals are sensitive to frost, and so the planting of them is usually well after the last frost, and their season ends with the first frost. This provides a time frame by which we can pursue activities more effectively if annuals are our messengers. When most people think of gardens and flowers, the first thing they think about is the color. And this is the one of the most important aspects, most important aspects of flowers. And it contains much of the message for us. Annuals are utilized most frequently to add color to a garden or landscape. We spoke a little about the meaning of color, like words, in my opinion, early in the book, and the bibliography are shown for even further information. If you truly intend, though, to learn nature speak, then you must become a little more fluent in the meaning of colors and their effects. Annuals often alert us to the color or lack of it somewhere in our life. Here today, here tomorrow, there is the essence of perennial flowers. Perennials are non-woody plants that live for more than 2 years. Typically, they bloom year after year, and they are the mainstays of most gardens. Perennials, though, differ from other shrubs because they do not have a woody stem, a quality defining shrubs and trees. Because they become back year after year, part of their message has to do with investments in our future. So annuals and perennials have these characteristics that relate to us. We need to think about them and contemplate them. There are 3 main types of perennials. One group dies down to the ground after the end of the growing season and then reemerges at the start of the next. Hostas are an example of this type. A second group grows through the winter as tufts of foliage, waiting to bloom again when it gets warmer. Shasta daisies are an example of this. And then there are evergreen perennials such as daylilies. Their foliage remains relatively unchanged throughout the year. The type of perennials will guide us as to how best to assert our energies in the course of each year for the greatest benefit. Do we need to have periods of activity and rest, an ebb and flow of activity? Do we need to keep our efforts constant? Whether a flower is an annual or a perennial helps us utilize our energies and efforts in all our endeavors more effectively. Annuals remind us that the rewards may be great, but they are short-lived. The efforts will have to be repeated and from scratch each year. Perennials remind us that there's an ebb or flow at play. Our endeavors may not generate as much at once, but they will build and sustain for longer periods of time. We do not have to start anew, but each year, rather, build on the previous. Our energies add to the previous years. Contemplating and meditating lead us to the light of change. And the light that's within us emerges year and year, annually, perennially, in colors and shades of duties, dues, So paint the forest, fly with ye birds, sing the songs of your soul, launch into the future of eternity. Namaste. Aho.